Salute, salute, salute. What is going on? What is going on? Welcome, welcome, everyone. Hold on a second. Let me get here in the back studio. It's been a minute since I've been consistently, operating on StreamYard. Like I used to always just do StreamYard and then out of nowhere, I started doing mobile upload. And partially the reason why I was doing that was because my channel was being suppressed and I found myself just stuck, always fighting, trying to get people, to understand. We finally got it. We finally got there to the point where people knew that I was here speaking. Let me grab a little music. Let's see what we're going to listen to. You know what? I think we should just keep the good. Actually, I would like to open up with a song. I haven't played a song of mine in broadcast in quite some time. And I think going into what we're going to be talking about today, I think I want to open up here. So let's get that started. For those of you who know, this is the turn up.
First, my name Jaguar. Don't address me different. I don't know you from a can of pink sun. My enemy can be your personal choice. Don't lace up till it's time to run. Ain't scared, never been scared, don't be scared. And that's a fact there. You should be questioning me. Truly, I've always been a fact there. I'm not a narcissistic thirst bucket, no. Just self-aware. Aware you've been thinking about me too much. Time to come up for air. Your opinion in the universe of me rates about a 0. Now go add value to that somewhere else and find a new hero. Vicarious living is death, covered up in a whole lot of coveting. This ain't church, so why you got a plate in your hand? Cause baby I ain't offering, but you can take this 2 cents right here to the store and go and get a snack. Then sit on the curb and figure from which hand you just got smacked the turn up.
You want it?
Time for the turn up.
Got it.
Turn up.
Ask for it.
Time for the turn up. Turn up.
Everybody wanna know about celebrity friends and why I gained weight, my marriage and all that. Whatever.
Time with the Roots was cool, Jake was great, and Cat Williams, yes, amazing.
For real though.
All it means is cool people enjoy my talents and my company. See, I make me experience, shape me, but in the day I make me self-reliant, don't waste a fight, and don't see that change until I'm dying. Far as waking, chalk it up to depression, married an asshole. Dark days, storms, then made it to the end of the rainbow. Found me a pot, gold named Sam. I love being his mother. Might do it one more time, honestly, because it's such an honor. Always wanted a real life for real love, something that was on my true definition of fame is to be alone in the sunshine. Turn up, time for the turn up.
You wanted it.
Turn up.
It is.
Time for the turn up. Turn up. Time for the turn up.
You asked for it.
Turn up.
What?
Time for the turn up. Turn up. Yo, everything in this world that glitter ain't gold.
Ain't that the damn truth?
Gain the world, lose your soul.
Pretty much.
Everything that glitters ain't gold. You gain the world just to lose your soul. Hey, everything that glitters ain't gold. You gain the world just to lose your soul. No shame in loving God, though the world may see God's failure. Good things they do take time. Take yours, I take mine. No point in lying for it. Might end up dying for it. We we all get what we deserve. Some help deserve some way to be served. My pride is my right, and my right is my life. Rich if I want to, might miss the real truth. To be more understanding, to be more forgiving, to compromise, to believe God.
Y'all always want to ask some questions, right? Did that answer it for you?
Dos,
Come on, man.
uno, dos, tres,
Turn up. You wanted it.
Hmm. I swear, I said actually said it. And I'm telling you right now, when I listen to that which I wrote 11 years ago, and I think about everything that happened in my life after that, it just lets me know that God put prophecy in me, you know? Like he put real prophecy in me. To be able to see my life and to know that I needed to put this on wax. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to really tell my story before my story was even told. Yeah, that was the turn up. I wrote that a few years ago. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Look, they asked for it. They asked for it, and so I gave it to them. I gives it to all of you. You know, it's so wild. Like I'm telling you, social media, this online life is it's just kind of crazy. It, just the way it all works. So tonight we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to get into a few topics. I want to start though with let's just talk about the Super Bowl right quick because we're going to ease into a few things. So let me pull something up right quick. Okay? I'm going to pull something up right quick. So, I put up a poll, I put up a post, I put up a video, and I was pretty much asking everybody, like, did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch it? Oh, and by the way, let's not get it confused. The like button still needs to be liked and it still needs to be hit. Keep on hitting it. Let's make sure that the view is matching the like, and I want to thank everybody who's liked so far. We only have about 77 people over here just getting started. We could use a few more. I don't know. Maybe some of you should share this live and let people know that we in the building. We should be sitting at a nice little something by now, but that's okay. We'll take our time. So I know that there's a lot of you that I've seen who've commented and said that you didn't watch the Super Bowl. I didn't either. I didn't at all. Not at all. So I just wanted to okay, here we go. All right, let me get over here. Okay, we're going to share a screen. Let's start with this conversation because this conversation is it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild, right? Now, let me say this because I don't want people to think that I'm just somebody who's not interested in sports or who hate sports, and I'm just, some old fogey who don't even care, whatever the case may be. No, I love sports. Like my father, you know what I'm saying? Like my father, diehard Eagles fan. You hear me? Diehard Eagles fan. I grew up Eagles, 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 the whole 9 yards. I mean, Super Bowl, of course, for most families, especially families of sports enthusiasts. Like that's one of the most important games that you watch in your home. I'll never forget when the blackout happened in the mid-teens of the 2000s, and I'll never forget how people of my color, people of my hue, were boycotting heavy. I had people that I associated with that once upon a time I called friends. Oh, I'm glad you like the song. The song was better than the halftime show. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate you. But you know, I'm telling you, like I have friends, people that I called friends at once upon a time. Can't really say that we speak all that much right now, but who had boxes. And I'm telling you, ooh, I am telling you, when I saw them say, we not even going to the game to sit in the box, we blacking out until they start recognizing and do more for the culture. We blacking out, we done. I'm like, are you kidding me? You sure did make it. So it was a big deal, the blackout. And it was holding. It was holding strong. Colin Kaepernick was being regarded as a modern day advocate and activist. His efforts were finally being heard. Oh, welcome back on in, ACG. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Um, but it was an interesting time. It was. I didn't miss anything. Oh, honey, we gonna get into that. We gonna get into that. I'm slow walking it. I'm slow walking it. So yeah. Anyway. Oh, and by the way, just to be clear, can y'all put a one in the chat if you can hear me okay? And I have I don't know why somebody is like, what is going on? I gotta get to the bottom of who's doing all of this stuff because somebody just made a comment that made perfect sense. But if you guys can hear me okay, if the music isn't too loud, that would be great. Okay. Yeah, because I don't know. There's somebody that's sitting in some chat somewhere talking about I need to turn the music off. And guess what? We gonna play the music over here. See, I just want to put y'all up on some game, right? Let me put y'all up on some game. A lot of times I'll be playing music in the backdrop, whether it's my shorts or whether it's this, whether it's that, a broadcast, whatever the case may be. And part of the reason why you'll see sometimes people come through and say, hey, turn the music off, is because people love jacking my content and they love using it to make money off of me. Don't nobody want me to earn a buck at the content that I create. No, they all want to make the money off of me. So, of course, they want me to turn the music off because they already know as long as I got the music playing in the background, if they try to jack my content, then I'll be able to come through and hit them for a copyright violation for using my music. Because whatever music I'm playing in the backdrop is registered. So, yeah, sorry. You're going to have to figure out another way to steal content from someone else, but you're just not doing it here today. So yeah, um, I didn't see the Coco Jones Black National Anthem. I didn't see any of it. I saw her try to pay homage. I saw the outfit, pictures of the outfit. I really didn't understand it. I know she was supposed to be representing Whitney Houston, but I don't think these kids really understand um, the significance of Whitney Houston showing up to that Super Bowl in nothing but a tracksuit and some sneakers. That was her trying to be more relatable to the people, because at that point in time, anytime you saw Whitney Houston, she was in designer gowns. Oh, and guys, thank you for letting me know that you hear everything okay. Designer gowns, designer clothes, designer this, designer that. But it was the Super Bowl, right? It was a football. It was America's big event, right? So rather than showing up dressed up to the nines like they always had her, she decided that she wanted to show up to the Super Bowl looking like everyone else. It was her way to make herself more relatable to the people, right? So, oh, thanks for that. So anyway, that was the thing. That was why she did that. So to say that you're honoring Whitney Houston, but not honoring why she did it, like, she wore the jacket and then she had this skirt and all that stuff on, and honestly, I didn't understand the outfit. My thing is if you wanted to, show up and honor Whitney Houston for what she was doing, then understand what she was doing, and that's the problem. Of course, it's me. It's me. I think that's the problem with a lot of young people and a lot of kids. It's they- they're so busy trying to be, I don't know, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? They want to know, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know, then you don't know. Well, talk to somebody. Figure it out. I mean, Whitney Houston, like, man, Whitney Houston. And we're about to pass, we're crossing the anniversary of her passing now. You know, um, it's but that was the whole point. So it's like if you were trying to relive or I don't know. I don't know. It's just, mm, I mean, I get it. I don't get it. So I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to go and tell Coco why Whitney did that, but it wasn't, I mean, it was cute, but so I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to go and listen to that part and take a listen and see. I mean, Coco was very, very, very talented. I mean, that no doubt about that. She's very talented. Um, she's been doing what she's been doing for quite some time. If people really realize how long that kid has been around, she reminds me of me. Like, she was humping it out, just trying to get seen, and then she finally got a record, and now she's a part of this machine. Let's pray to God that it doesn't eat her alive, like it's doing so many people. Um, but yeah. So, anywho's then, you got the Coco Jones moment that happened, all of that. Um, and then there was a game, apparently. Not that anybody knows anything about it, or it doesn't seem like anybody knows anything about it. Nobody's talking about the game. Like, of all of the headlines and stuff that we're seeing live online, is anybody seeing anybody talk about the game? Like, is anybody seeing anybody talk about this game? I'm not even hearing a whole lot of sportscasters like popping through the feed and through the algorithm. Everything that I'm seeing based around the Super Bowl is all drama. Like, ESPN and Cameron was talking about the game. Well, I don't watch ESPN anymore, and I don't follow Cameron at all. So if they the only ones, like once upon a time when the Super Bowl came on, everybody was talking about Super Bowl. You know, like all I hear people talking about is the drama. Drama, 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 drama. All the drama. People know everything about what's going on between Cardi B and that boy, that Diggs boy. Everybody is talking about the Bad Bunny performance, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. But you know what? Nobody's really talking about. I know nobody watches it except for Stephen A. And I don't even know why people watch him anymore. I think it's very clear he's absolutely full of shit. Exactly. It's the drama bowl now. Like, I'm still waiting to hear somebody talk about a crazy touchdown or who had the best running yards or this, that, and like it. I mean, the truth is, from what I've seen, ass game. It was a shitty ass game. From what I could tell, leading up to the performance, there was nothing great going on, but field goals. Yeah, it was field goals. It's a bunch of field goals. So the football was whack. And meanwhile, everyone was talking Patriots, Patriots, Patriots. Like, apparently there was somebody that placed a $2 million bet on the game, hoping to make $4 million. And he lost because he bet on the Patriots. Now, when I think about all of the hoopla, like just buzzing around the Super Bowl, like I said, all they were talking about was this weirdo relationship that this married girl has with this serial cheater or modern day polygamist. Because I don't know what to call the Stephanus. I don't know what to call the Stephanus. Because apparently he loves having unprotected sex with random women or a bunch of women. And he doesn't care if the whole world knows about it. Evening. And he just, you know, and let the Barney Beat girl talk about it. She just takes the prep and pray to God that, you know, it's working all the time and she doesn't you know, catch the big three looks. The commercials were more entertaining. You want to know what's funny? People were even saying the commercials weren't that great this year. Like, New England hasn't been the same since Tom Brady left. And I think right now they're just worried about sensationalism. And when I'm looking at how they're using Cardi B for press, I mean, let's be clear. I think we all know at this point in time, most of our sports, it's just, I mean, It's shitty football. It's shitty basketball. Like all of this stuff. It's shit. Like it's not even worth watching. What does it say? I watched First Take and they talked about Super Bowl. Well, of course, they're going to talk about Super Bowl. To be honest, the game was tough between Seahawks and Pats. It was a good game. It was a good game in your opinion. That's funny because everybody else said it was a shitty game. They said it was a terrible game. That's what everybody else said. Ain't nobody really talking about it. But I know what everybody is talking about. Cardi B and all the drama around this breakup and it's so funny watching all of her fans sit there and try to make excuses for this clearly misguided woman because she's in her 30s now and just doing the fool. I it's wild. So apparently Diggs said that if they won the Super Bowl, he was going to propose to her at the Super Bowl. She was, anticipating being proposed to, and she paid $1.2 million to bring everybody there. She flew out some jeweler to. It's I know he ain't even do nothing. He was there. He was there for the clicks and views, and he was there to do whatever he did. Like it's like a soap opera. This whole thing. It's like a soap opera. It's not even real. So he dumped her. The girl that was cheating with her husband that she's still married to, Offset, she was there trolling her, standing with her baby's grandmama. He's doing nothing on the field. The other baby mama was there taking selfies, showing her pass. Word is, officials from, the team from the Pats didn't even want her around. The rest of the wives were complaining that she was hogging up all of the press. They were asking her to roll out. Like she spent all of this money. And from what they're saying, nobody even went to this so-called party that she paid $1.2 million for a proposal that she wasn't going to get while he was parading his harem around her. And one of the women was a woman that was disrespecting the crap out of her by sleeping with the man that she's still married to. Offset, who she left so she could be with the man that is disrespecting her in real time right now in front of all of America again. And she like I don't get it. That part. But ain't nobody talking about that. I put the comment up on the screen. I ain't saying nothing else about it. Ain't nobody talking about that. Like all of this. Oh, of course. Of course. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how many people lost money. Like how many losing bets were placed on the Patriots, because that sounds like a low key like payoff. Meanwhile, now they're saying that she's gonna take him back, and it's pathetic. It really is pathetic. All of this is pathetic because this is what the Super Bowl is about. This extremely dysfunctional, promiscuous relationship that is showing nothing but infidelity, adultery, and how irresponsible people are with bringing children into this world and to dysfunctional situations. But it's okay, right? Because everybody has a lot of money, right? It's okay. $1.2 million to get embarrassed. She'd have been better off giving that money to the homeless. She could have funded a homeless shelter for a whole year. It's it, ooh, it's just baffling to me. It was boring. Like, I keep hearing nothing good. Nothing good. Nothing good about this game. Just the drama. You know? Just the drama. So they created this whole soap opera around these dysfunctional people with their dysfunctional families and their bad choices in life. Wait a minute. Are you trying to say that Stefan Diggs lost so he wouldn't have to propose? I don't think he had anything to do with that game at all. I think the game that he was playing was the media game. That's the game that I think he was playing. Listen to me. We're not even going to talk about that hoodie. We're not even going to talk about it because people, that's the beautiful thing about delusion. It only needs to make sense to the person that believes it. And they don't care whether or not anybody else does. They're just going to keep selling it. Look, I know. But the PR, it's the PR of it all. That's what really mattered. So we got a soap opera, and we got an overpriced concert, right? Because let's be clear, that's what we got. That's what we got. We got an overpriced concert. It was,
Send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
You know what I'm saying? I got a friend of mine that enjoys that clip. Salute. Set in the West. No, but seriously, I mean, let's just be honest. That's what we got. We got a soap opera. We got an overpriced concert. And hold on a second. Let me mess around for a little bit. Matter of fact, I think I want to change the music up for a second. Maybe we can do that. Hold on. I'm going to get to that in a second. Let me pull this up, though. So let's talk about my opinion. Let's talk about, and this is all my opinion, Hold on a second. Where is it? Here we go. This guy, the marquee of the marquee, right? Because his show was more important than the entire game. His show was all about, synergy between Latino America and America. It was all about, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I see a comment, right? Because it was all about, let's just be honest. It was this, oh my goodness, this great gathering moment for America. And there's so many people in America that have felt unseen. And now in this moment, they have been seen. Latin America has been finally seen. And now we are, and this is the guy who did it, right? You might know it's crazy. They don't talk about when Shakira and J-Lo was up there. That was Latin America. Like they're acting like that never happened. They're acting like this is the first time a Latino performer has performed at the Super Bowl. They had Shakira, and the Jenny from the block. But no, this is the first time. Like this is the thing that. And meanwhile, while people are trying to sell that bullshit, they want to also make it about the LGBTQ community and he's this and he's that and he's fluid and he's whatever and people are they're hating on him. You're a racist or you're a bigot, and that's why you didn't like the show and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo and yada yada yada. Personally, I think it's crap. See, this is the reason why I wasn't tuning in. These images on the screen are the reason why I wasn't tuning in. Because what I don't do, I don't support what looks like clear, and I mean clear, Satanism. I don't. Salute, welcome in. I mean, seriously, look at what this is. Like if I put these images that I have here up on the screen, these are just a few snapshots that I pulled. There's so many more. This is the guy that performed. But it wasn't until the Super Bowl that people started like realizing and looking and noticing his connection to the diddler. There's a few other people that about that before. Like, I don't care what anybody says. This has nothing to do with art. This is clear representation of Satanism. You got Cardi B up there dancing in a casita. You got Lady Gaga, who has been tiptoeing on the edge of being a cheerleader for Satan's team. I don't know how long. Shakira's not American, but J-Lo was, and they did it together. Let's not forget about that. Yeah, they all a little zesty. I think people are forgetting, that Met Gala, Diddy showed up dressed like Nosferatu, and Bad Bunny came in a matching suit, similar, but he did the white. It was all in Spanish, and it's wild because we've been, you guys know I posted a link, and on live the other night I told you we were going to be talking more about this, and I've been doing a little bit more research trying to find out the origin of his relationship with Diddy. But just these images speaks volumes. It's kind of like being mentioned in the Epstein files and people trying to play it off like it absolutely means nothing. But this is why I didn't watch. Because I've just gotten to a point in time in my life where I am not. I'm just not. not at all supporting anything that I think has demonic ties. Rock selection and when I go through a lot of his images and stuff like that, it's kind of wild because like I'm seeing so much evidence of necromancy. And if you don't know what necromancy is, it's somebody who is, romanticizing being unalived. A lot of gore, a lot of blood. Like I'm just I can't support it. And that's why I didn't watch. And look, it was a crappy game. People lost. Yeah, I mean, but let's just be honest. A lot of these shows that they're doing now are weirdo fest, all based around satanic stuff, and it's crazy. So that's why I didn't watch. Not because I'm a racist, not because I'm a homophobe, but all of this money. And the game ain't even good. And it's just funny because it seems like it's all being done. Exactly. A Latino diddy do wop bop. Like, but nobody's talking about any of that. Nobody's talking about any of that. Yes, that's Bad Bunny posing as Nosferatu, and Nosferatu is the legend of the first vampiric king, the vampire god, as they called him. I just am I breaking up or am I clear? Nosferatu, y'all a mess. Oh, welcome to the channel, Torian. So yeah, that was it for me. That was my reason for checking out of the whole thing, and I'm glad I did. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it at all. But what's even wilder is watching people compare that to Kendrick Lamar, and it's wild because Kendrick Lamar, everyone made such a big stink about that. It was so terrible, it was so this, it was so that, and this was so much better, and it's just we're watching people make a lot of interesting choices in what they're calling entertainment and what they're feeding to the public. And we have to start deciding what we're going to buy into, what we're not going to buy into. Well, thank you. Love returned. It's just kind of wild. Yeah. See, that's a great observation right there. Transfer of power from one warlock to another. If we don't start paying attention to how demonic this country is becoming day by day, we're all going to get sucked up by it. The lyrics in his song, I mean, we could sit here and we could break it down and we could go through all of it, but the truth is I don't even want to repeat the crap. It's a bunch of weird sexual stuff. It's about being totally influenced on pharmaceuticals and alcohol. It's about doing all kinds of weird stuff and selling your soul to the devil or buying somebody's soul that is for sale. And I'm not saying that that's all of the songs and that's all of the lyrics, but There is definitely a theme. There is definitely a theme, huge theme to what's going on there. So, yeah, regardless if we're talking about the Cardi B distraction or the Bad Bunny ritual, they NFL has sold to the devil, in my opinion, and taken the Super Bowl to hell. And I will not listen to me. I'm still doing my research on that. I heard the audio of the two of them. Look, as much as he talks about sticking stuff in people's bums and sticking this here and sticking this there, you know, first Meek Mills and now this. It's wild. It's wild. All this stuff. These are all satanic rituals. And it's just I just don't think that people understand that when it comes to Satanism and when it comes to the transfer of energy and power, like sexual energy, that Kundalini energy is some of the strongest energy in the world. Actually, it is the strongest energy in this planet. And when two bodies are having that, it whatever time you on, that's what it's emoting. So if you have two beings that are sharing themselves together and they're having that connection, and it's radiating positivity, it's radiating God, it's radiating love, yeah, that's one thing. But when you're talking about evil, demon time, crazy stuff, man, it's yeah. America, man. America, we in trouble. Trouble. That's an interesting one. The Latino Drake. I don't know. I think he done gone a little farther than Drake. I think he done gone a little farther than Drake. He is doing all kinds of wild stuff. Yeah, they did. They did collaborate. You know, it's wild. We're just watching them one by one coming forward. It's scary. So all I can say is we should I know TPUSA, they had their own, and I didn't watch that either. I didn't watch none of it. See, for me, I'm starting to understand what this is all about. It's all about energy harvesting. You know, you get a bunch of people all together in the same place, or you get a bunch of people all around, the country, focusing on the same thing, thinking the same thing. Like, that's creating energy. And that's what they want. I salute and thank you for that. So yeah, that's what I see when I look at all of this stuff. Like the Super Bowl it's not about football anymore. It's about ratings. It's about generating energy to harvest. It's about, these rituals. And it's sad. It's sad. It's pathetic. And I can't. I can't. I can't and I won't. So everybody was, oh, what did you think about this? What did you think about that? I know that this country is being overran by the weirdos. And decent people are becoming less and less and less and less and less every day. I'm not repeating the lyrics, honey. I promise you that. But y'all just need to be very careful what you give your energy to. Be very careful what you give your attention to. I find myself more and more and more trying to avoid the internet intentionally for certain times, for certain all of that, because it's like, you know, they're pulling your energy there too. Like anytime you see them running like these themes, running these stories, and a bunch of content creators and a bunch of outlets are running it at the same time, they're doing that to generate interest, to get you to be online. So I want you to think about that. When a story is going viral, like think about how many people are online at the same time. That means whoever's monitoring what's going online has access to be able to tap into all of these people's streams, all of these people's feeds. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody thinks about that. Like, that's what it means to go viral. If something is going viral, that means there are large groups of people that are hosting and sourcing the internet at the same time. I want y'all to think about that. Maybe you should. Like, there's so much that we're not paying attention to. Welcome, Miss Parker. Welcome. Welcome to our community. It's good to have you here. No, but seriously. No, souls are currency. You're absolutely right. Salute to our moderator, Archangel Michael. Oh, but God, we're not paying attention to that. And we got to start learning how to pay closer attention. Our vibrations, what we're giving into, what we're sharing ourselves with. So I say all of that to lead into the because I've been getting a lot, and I mean a lot of conversation about something else that's been going on out here on the internet. And it's just kind of crazy because I just wanted to run through just a few of these headlines here. Hold on a second. Let me take this down for a moment. These headlines. Foolish. You hear me? Foolish. It's just, number one, this guy in general, I don't know why he says he's poetic, because there's nothing poetic about him. And I guess he's a flocker. So I meet the flockers. I don't know. He is done. Darling just turned Corey's world. Oh, he did this. And it instantly backfired. Like, has anybody else noticed other than me? I want y'all to look at this. Look at the amount of thumbnails. Like seriously, look at the amount of thumbnails that we're seeing. I'm just rolling through, just scrolling through, just like This shit is insane. I mean, they have gone all the way to hell. Like, all the way to hell. Look. And it's funny because as you're looking, if you're really paying attention, you're going to see some repetitive, really, 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 really repetitive. Like some people over and over and over again. There's some content creators that are posting, doing, I don't know, 3 to 4 videos about this daily. And, just making a meal of the whole situation. It's wild. Just now, I bring all of that up because I've been noticing that some people have been jumping on my channel and have had a few things to say about some of the commentary that I've had about what's been going on with Corey Holcomb and this online this online fodder. I don't even know what to call it other than what it is. But see, I got to be very careful about what I'm saying, because if I'm not careful about what I'm saying, what's going to happen is people are going to start accusing me of doing things that I'm not doing. So I want to make sure that I'm very clear about everything that I have to say regarding this. So please show me a little bit of respect. And I want to make sure that everyone understands that once I've said what I had to say about this, that's it. We're not going to be going back and forth. We're not going to be doing a bunch of arguing about it. Okay? We're not. We're not. I'm going to say what I have to say. Okay? And then that's just going to be that. Period. So let me speak. Now, I'm going to say this as quickly as I can and as eloquently as I can, because I really don't want people to miss my point. When I was younger, I had a family member that was an older gentleman, and he was clever, and he used to flirt with the younger women. Welcome, Alina. Thank you. He would always, joke around with the younger women, and he would whistle at them, and, he would, just say a little something. Oh, look at you, sexy ass. Oh, you too cute. Oh, look at you switching down the street. You look good. That kind of thing. Now, this was a man who was in his 40s or 50s who was talking to women in their 20s, sometimes as young as 18, 19 years old. And they would call him a dirty old man and say, "Oh, I can't believe you. What you talking about? You don't be coming up to me like that. Woofy woofy woo. You way too old for me," and da 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 whatever. And he would always say, "I might be old enough to be your father, but I'm still young enough to make you a mother." And that was his clapback to "you're too old for me," right? And when I think about that now, if he were still around and he were at that same age and doing that with young women now, he'd be vilified. He would be torn to shreds. See, when I was growing up, whether or not a lot of people like to admit it or not, it's a whole lot of grown ass men that was chasing after young ass women. And it was tolerated. If the numbers were a little bit too crazy, it was hidden. It was covered. As the years have gone by and people started realizing that this behavior is not really appropriate and it's a little unfair, laws started changing and people started caring. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Back in the day, statutory rape, it didn't get taken seriously by the police or prosecutors until the parents said something. If the parents said nothing, it didn't even matter. I got family members who were in the 9th grade, 10th grade with 25-year-old boyfriends, knew where that 25-year-old man was sleeping in the house, helping pay bills. So we don't need to sit here and pretend, especially like my generation. Like, we don't know that that's the kind of shit that happened when we was coming up. Because it was. Thank God that the law takes it seriously now and are doing something about it. Thank God. But man, for so many years, it was totally being tolerated. Like, I'll never forget hearing a police officer. I went to a friend of mine who was a cop, and I was telling him that there was a guy that I knew that was messing with too many of the young girls. And I'm like, yo, y'all can't do nothing about this dude? And he said, ain't no prosecutor gonna take no case for this. And if the parents ain't pushing the issue, and if the community ain't pushing the issue, what we supposed to do? And that was a cop. But now, it's taken very seriously. Matter of fact, it's become so serious that it's able to be weaponized. Now, and guess what? I see you. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Somebody in here talking about cancel this and cancel that. You're absolutely right. It is sick. But it's what's happened. It's been happening in this world. So let's address the audio. Same way it hit everybody else. It hit me the same way it hit everybody else. I'm not going to pretend. That was the point of it, though. It was supposed to hit you like that. It was supposed to hit you like that. Whoever edited that and put it together, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. All of it. It was, I mean, I listened to 2 or 3 different content creators where I heard it. And every time I heard it, each presentation, it sounded worse every time I heard it. It was awful. It was supposed to be. See? It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be absolutely terrible. The stuff that he was saying, yeah, it would make anybody uncomfortable instantly. When you start hearing people referring to children um, in a, or talking about teenage girls a certain way, or, you know, yeah. And then they took I mean, the way they put that compilation together, it was wild. It was wild. It was just over and over. It was like they kept hitting you over the head, over and over and over and over and over again. He said this, he said that, he said this, he said that. And it was just, it was just, ugh. So let's be clear. I was just as appalled as everybody else when I heard what y'all heard. The difference between me, though, and most people, is I pay attention to what's behind it. So let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way real, and let's keep it all the way funky. Somebody took the time, either one person or a group of people got together in a Discord somewhere and came up with a plan. And they went and sat there on the 5150 show and they listened to hundreds of videos. Oh, listen to me. We all agree that everything that he said was fucked up. We all agree on that. But let's be clear. This entire thing, let's just be clear. I don't know why people keep please somebody keep an eye out on Alina's post. She actually put up a couple of things, and they didn't go against community guidelines, and they're literally sitting over there reporting her comments. And her comments are real, and they're very valid, because she's sitting here talking about how certain young women in the business have been SE-actualized, like Destiny's Child, like Rihanna, like Aaliyah was. Young women have been being SE-actualized online, in the industry, in the movie industry, for many, many, many years. Like Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee Simmons, that relationship, disgusting, absolutely disgusting. No problem, Alina. You know I'm always trying to keep an eye out as best as I can. But back to the whole Corey Holcomb situation. Nobody's denying it was terrible. The question is, it's the timing, see? Yeah, Nicki Minaj too. But let's just be clear. Let's look at the timing. Right after the new year, Antoine Donaldson is what I'm calling him from this point forward. He was invited over to the show, and there are certain things that I know. I'm not going to get into much detail about it. And he put up a $500 super chat, and then there was an invite, and then he came to the show. Now, word is there wasn't a whole lot of understanding or rapport between the Antons and the Holcombs. There wasn't a whole lot of rapport there. He really wasn't paying attention to this dude who he was attached to, who he knew. He didn't really vet him. Truth is, that $500 $5 super chat was like the worst thing that ever happened to him because it's costing him a lot more than the $500 that he got. And YouTube got to take damn near half of that. So it was more like $300. So I want everybody to pay attention. Antoine comes over there. Okay. That whole thing blows up. A week later, he goes after Antoine because Antoine was going after him and it was back and forth and I'll kick your ass, I'll do this, I'll do that, you don't know, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it was a bunch of rebel rousing, and they got the algorithm going, and they kicked that boom, they kicked that conversation all the way up to the top of the algorithm. Man, all you could hear was people talking about the Antoine and Corey, Antoine and Corey, and who did this and who did that. And I mean, that thing was a thing. It was a heavy thing. Algorithm, a lot of airtime, a lot of content creators were on that. Corey did what he did with the family and put pictures up and said some real hardcore, hardcore cold shit about that nigga family. And I'm not gonna lie, as terrible, and I mean as terrible as what he said was, I laughed. I did. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed. Because in my opinion, from what I could see, he really wasn't lying. I don't find them to be a very attractive family as a whole. I don't. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, he said some hard shit about hard faces. And that's just real. Now, was it necessary for him to go after the family? Absolutely not. But then right after that, Kwame Brown jumped into the conversation and pointed out the fact that Antoine Donaldson had gone after a bunch of people himself. Matter of fact, he pulled up the video of the Hebrew Israelite family where Antoine Donaldson was sitting there talking about how people stunk and how their kids was stupid and it was this and that. And he had the pictures up, no different than what Corey had done to him. Kind of canceled that conversation out. You know what I'm saying? And then the next thing you know, the day after that, here comes a video. Something that happened over a year ago. And then this woman, all of a sudden, she's the thing that's online. And everybody's talking about this woman. Her name is Christina Payne, this woman. And oh my God, whoopty whoopty whoop. Okay, now I want you to understand something. From the top of the year, we 3 weeks in. We got a super chat, we got an appearance, we got a blow up, we got a beat, we got a this, we got a that, and now we got meat, we got some juice. Oh yeah, look at what he did to this poor woman. This poor woman who has a track record that would make your average crackhead look like a church-going, tax-paying citizen. Right? And then that becomes a thing. And then TMZ gets involved. Turns out there are restraining orders involved. Matter of fact, she has a few restraining orders on her. And then that wasn't enough. And now we got a GUN situation. Now she's doing interviews with Tasha K. People is running around. Everyone is covering it. Oh, he had a GUN. He had a GUN. Oh my God. Thank you, Maya. Welcome home. It's good to see you here. He had a GUN. Look at what he did. Look at what he did. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. He had a GUN. He had a GUN. This is what he TMZ running up on the man as he's coming back into town from working, you know. Did you have a GUN? So now we got a whole nother situation going on. And then guess what happens? That gets drug on. So now we're approaching almost a month into this situation. And now Corey gets online to try to defend himself. And he brings people through who were there. He even brought people who had testimony about this woman, who were initially giving testimony against Corey. He had a whole brother sit there talking about, yo, this chick went too far. And they tried to get me to say that you had a GUN. And I'm like, no, I ain't doing that because that didn't happen. It didn't happen. But they was trying to push that story, yo. Heavy. Then Corey started calling out attorneys. And he called out one attorney in particular. Sure did. And he said, I got information on you. And he was real disrespectful with it. He was. I mean, let's just be clear. Corey Holcomb, ignorant can get when he wants to be. He can speak nasty. He can talk heavy. He can do all kinds of things. I mean, he's cold. He cold-blooded with his mouth. He really is. He is cold-blooded with that mouth. He get to going. He get to talking. And he gets to calling people names and saying all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some people might say he goes too far. Some people might say that. Some people might say that he does too much. And maybe that's true. Maybe it's true that he does too much. Who knows? Who am I to say? Some people would say that I do too much sometimes. People have a lot of things to say about a lot of things this day and age. They really do. Like, a lot to say. And yet, he's a grown-ass man, and whatever the fuck he wants to say, he can say. He has the right. Like, it is what it is. He's not the only ignorant person in America. He's not. There are some people online that's more ignorant than him. I was just listening to an old clip of Donald Trump and Howard Stern talking about his daughter Ivanka when she was still in her teens. And Howard Stern literally referred to Ivanka Trump in front of her daddy as a hot piece of ass. And nobody said nothing. We ain't even gonna talk about Cardi and her disgusting, treacherous mouth and the shit that she say out of her face. Like, Howard Stern literally called Ivanka Trump, when she was a teenager, a hot piece of ass in front of her father. And nothing happened to him. Nothing. Nobody said nothing. And his sponsorship didn't drop and nothing happened. Matter of fact, I've heard them talk about all kinds of inappropriate things. Matter of fact, it was Usher who sat on the Howard Stern show talking about all of the wild, kinky stuff that he saw with Diddy as a child. And Howard Stern is sitting there asking them, and they all excited, and nobody said anything about that. Nobody said nothing about that. There was no outrage. Nothing. Just people listening. Not posting about it. So, back to the timeline. Back to the timeline. Corey gets on his channel and starts mentioning that he has evidence against a powerful Hollywood attorney that worked with OJ, worked with Tory Lanez. OJ got off. Tory didn't. Anywhosen, you know, Tory spoke real hard about that woman. Real hard. Sure did. I mean, he spoke down on her. Something terrible. Called out her name and everything. Sure did. What can I do about it? That's his mouth. That's what he chose to do. I can't do anything about that. But the most important thing that he said out of his mouth when it came to that woman was that he had evidence proving that she was a dishonest attorney and that the things that she was doing could put her in a position to lose her law license. I pulled up this image for a reason. Because all of these attorneys in this image on the screen are linked in one way or another. And every last one of them has contact with Harvey Levin from TMZ. Like, let's not forget the timeline. He says the woman in the purple, I'm not going to say her name because apparently saying her name creates quite the difference and turns people into PDFers overnight. Her name is Sean Holly. This is the woman that represented Tory Lanez in his case and then dropped him right before it was time for him to go to trial, leaving him to have to go with another attorney that could give him effective counsel. But she's the one, before she dropped his case, that refused to have the pistola tested, which would have exonerated him from having anything to do with that GUN, and hence the GUN charges wouldn't have been successful against him in court. That's who that is. And that's something. So, and this is the woman who's allegedly representing Christina Payne, who has strong ties to the industry. Very strong ties. Her husband is a very big part of the industry. Her husband, Mr. Dorian Holly, was Michael Jackson's background singer for many, many, many years. Oh, you might be on to something. So now, after Corey admits that he's got evidence that can destroy her entire career. Guess what? Within a week. And I want y'all to think about this. This whole story with all of this stuff hit just as Super Bowl weekend was kicking in, and his name has already been hot in the algorithm for fodder. So people are already online. People are just boom, 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 going from post to post, from this to that, everybody's online, and then boom. So there's already an audience present to drop this. And then it drops and people hear it, and boom, it is the worst of the worst of the worst things that could ever come out of a man's mouth, let alone a black man's mouth who's being accused of being a woman hater, and somebody who puts their hands on women, and somebody who goes after people's families when they get some beef. Like, from Anton to him talking about the family, to the Christina Payne, to the here to GUN, these statements. Oh my God. Oh my God. You wanna talk about death blow? You want to talk about death blow? If this was a video game, if this was Street Fighter, when that tape dropped with that compilation of the worst things that Corey Holcomb has ever said online, when that tape dropped, like, all they had to do, finish him. You remember that from Mortal Kombat? When you put in the code for the right combination to do that awesome super punch kick hit, and it's finish him. Like, that's what that tape was. Like, real rap. That was it. Listen to me. Straight Mortal Kombat. Straight Mortal Kombat. Finish him. It's brilliant. Brilliant. Like, if you're going to assassinate somebody's character, if you were going to tear somebody to shreds, we'll talk about that on another occasion. But yeah, I seen some of it. It was interesting, to say the least. Had to do a pod about that. But seriously, like, if you wanted to assassinate somebody's character in 35 days or less, this is a masterclass at how to do it. They haven't given Corey's name a break in 5 weeks. We're going on 5 weeks. And every week it has gotten worse and worse and worse. And now this. Biggest problem I have with it, though, for me, biggest problem I have with it is the fact that that shit's been online, G. It's been online. It's been online. Like, some of those videos that they grabbed those wild ass statements from, have been online for 5+ years or more. I try to think about it. Somebody took the time to literally go through his entire catalog of videos on his channel. 5150 been around for 16 years. I'm dead ass serious. And yes, we are live. Do you know the kind of time that you have to put into going through that many transcripts over the course of that many years? And then go and find other content where other things were and put it all together to create that damn awful sound array. Like it I, I don't like it, I mean, it was masterful the way they put that whole thing together. Masterful. And then guess what? Boom, instantly the internet is in on it. This mother effer, this dirty, oh my God. Allegations, 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 allegations. He's a PDFer. PDF allegations. It's wild. Because usually when people say allegations, it's usually because there's somebody that's making an actual accusation that somebody did something. You know? Like usually that's how it works. Somebody did something. No, they had it all staged out. They spared no expense on this one, and it's brilliant. G is brilliant. I mean, this is probably one of the most brilliant 187s on somebody's character I've seen in a hot second. Like they spared no expense on destroying this man and making sure he stayed destroyed. Because the second that you put this on somebody's character, it don't go away. It don't go away. Like if the Anton thing wasn't working, if the Christina thing wasn't working, if the Corey's got a gun theory wasn't working, right? If none of that was working, this is going to. And now you don't even have to keep drilling after him, because this is out there, the internet's going to do it for you. The internet's going to do it for you. See, you drop that out there, the internet got you, G. The internet, they got you. You straight. They're going to run with this. They're going to run with this. They're going to run with this. And you can sit back and it's on cruise control. And now you can take your time at dismantling and picking somebody apart. It's wild. And this was all done in 35 days. And it's interesting because when this first happened, when the whole thing with Anton first hit, I said to an associate, I'm like, he's got 72 hours to address this. Otherwise, he's done. If he don't get ahead of this in 72 hours, they gonna run him down. And I was right. I was right. I just didn't see this coming. See, I don't. Now, see, look, here we go. We got this comment. And this is what I mean. And I want to thank you for putting this comment here, because you're actually proving my point. He is a trash individual, a PDF, and a loser. Yep, that's your opinion. And you have that opinion because someone took the time in the past 35 days to make sure you had that opinion. See, this is the thing that I'm tripping off of. And I want you to understand this, Queens. And please understand me well. You didn't come up with this opinion all by yourself. Someone made sure you did. Maybe you don't understand how dangerous that is. Maybe you don't get how scary that is. That's right. That's that new media. Somebody sat down and created a plan. Okay? And I just sat here and explained to you how that plan was orchestrated and executed over the course of 35 days. And now you're sitting here saying exactly what they wanted you to say. I'm not saying that your opinion is wrong. I'm not saying that you're not entitled to your opinion. I just want you to know and acknowledge that that's not your opinion. Somebody gave you that opinion. And guess what? You've decided to lean in on that. Because people had a lot of things to say about Corey Holcomb before now that didn't include PDF. 72 hours. He went from an asshole. He went from a woman herder, and now he's just a PDF. I want you to understand that. Have the opinion that you want to have. Just know that's not your opinion. I hope you hear what I'm saying to you, Queensy. I got you up on the. I had you up on the screen. I'm gonna put you back up on the screen for a reason. I'm sitting here breaking all of this down because I want you to understand that 35 days ago you weren't calling this man a PDF. You're doing it now because someone orchestrated all of this information to be put together specifically for you to see it that way. See, I understand it because I've watched them do it to me. It don't matter if you guilty or you innocent, but when that machine get to moving, and they use the same tactics, they do the same thing all the time. This ain't nothing new. See, I'm not talking about the Corey Holcomb situation because I'm trying to defend him or defend his actions or to prove he's innocent or to prove he's guilty. That ain't got shit to do with me. I got my own fights to fight. I'm involved in this because I am looking at how these people fucking operate and whether you're they make the public believe whatever the fuck they want to make the public think and believe whenever the fuck they do it. Because all of this shit that they running with online, everything that they saying about this man right now, that shit's been there. It's been there. And guess what? People were sitting there laughing. It's been there for years. It's been there. Why wasn't he a PDF of 5 years ago? Why wasn't he a PDF of 7 years ago? Why wasn't he a PDF of 2 years ago? No, just now? And just now. Fuck is wrong with y'all? I'm sick and tired of watching the public fall for the banana in the tailpipe when it comes to these fucking new media, fucking troll farm, fucking Wanna be CIA fucking operating looking ass motherfuckers. I'm tired. If you want to hate somebody, then hate somebody. But make sure you're doing it because that's what you came up with, not because that's what somebody told you to do. Is what he said terrible? Absolutely. And guess what? It was just as terrible when he said it 6-7 years ago. 6-7 years ago, it was just as terrible. Why now? Why now? It's the same way they went after Tory Lanez. It's the same way they went after me. It's the same way they go after everybody that they want shut down. Tory and Corey got one person in common. That fucking lawyer. Sure do. All of that information that they pulled together to dump on him over this weekend, all of that shit was there 35 days ago. Shit, why didn't they just start with there? If they wanted to fucking kill his reputation and get him offline, why didn't they just start there? They could have left that weirdo woman and that fake story about the GUN alone. Antoine Donaldson could have stayed in Detroit rather than coming and making a stir and dragging his family into this shit. Because if he had left Corey alone, everybody know Corey is off the chain. You went down and you sat with somebody off the chain and you talked crazy about your family. That's what happened. Sure did. Happens all the time on social media. You ain't special. The way they talked about me, the way they talked about my family, everything they done to me, everything they done with my personal life. You think I feel sorry for Antoine Donaldson? Not the fuck at all. Okay, hold on. Someone's saying that we're glitching. Are we okay? Like, I just want, keep it all the way 100. I'm going to hate somebody. I'm going to hate somebody. If I'm going to go out of my way to be disgusted with somebody, I'm going to do it because that's what I saw, because that's what I believe, not because somebody made me believe it. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Like, we got to just start being real. Is it terrible? Absolutely. Awful. I don't stand by nothing that he said in any of those clips. I don't condone it. But now I want to flip to the other side of this pancake. Now that we all so hot and bothered and so worked up, right? Now that we all so hot and bothered and so worked up, listen to me. All kinds of wild stuff is going on out there, nephew. All kinds of wild stuff is going on out there in the world. Okay. See, this is the thing. All right. Now you want to come up in here and say, no. Okay. Let's hear what Queens has to say. No, when people put ignorant things on the internet and say ignorant things out their mouth, yes, an opinion will be formed based upon the ignorant things coming out. No one is arguing with that. The thing is, he wasn't a PDF for a week ago and he's a PDF for now. But these things that everyone's talking about that came out of his mouth years ago. Where was the outrage? Where was the outrage then? Where was the outrage? Darlene was sitting next to him when he said all of that shit too. And she stayed. She's been there for 16 years. Where? Like, let's not be silly here. What's up, LP? Let's not be silly here. It's selective outrage. But you know what I say? Since everybody got so much hate in their heart for this man, great. Have it. Stay there with it. You want to know what I want to see y'all keep the same energy for other weirdos. Because we got other weirdos that are online saying all kinds of ignorant and crazy things. And for whatever reason, they just get to run. They just get to run. I posted it on my timeline earlier today. Okay, that's your opinion. Everyone's entitled to it. I'm just trying to understand. All of that stuff that was online, been online, he's been saying it, and now all of a sudden he's being judged for it, but nobody was saying nothing. Boom. If we're going to have all of this energy, let's have it for everybody. I was just listening to audio about Charlotte fraud the other day with him sitting there bragging was giving people date grape pharmaceuticals and how he was getting himself a little high too, so he didn't have to feel bad about taking advantage of them while they was passed out. No, he just got a $200 million deal with Netflix. And the serial crew keeps on rolling on. What about this dude? What about this dude? Yeah, the chair sniffer. He just gets to roll. But what about this dude? The reason why I bring this up is because of the symmetry. There's some very interesting symmetry here. Put a 2 in the chat if you think Aries Spears is a PDF. Put a 3 in the chat if you think he's just a misunderstood comedian. 2 in the chat if you think he's a bona fide PDFer. 3 in the chat if you think he's just a misunderstood comedian. Because this asshole right here says all kinds of fucked up shit. Matter of fact, once upon a time, him and Corey used to be cool. I want y'all to think about this. Chaos, usually we be on the same timeline. I'm going to say it again. Put a 2 in the chat if he's a straight up PDFer. Put a 3 in the chat if you think he's just a misunderstood comedian. We talking about selective outrage. We talking about selective outrage. Let's talk about it. 2 in the chat if he's a PDFer. 3 in the chat if he's a misunderstood. Who got a Netflix deal? Charlotte fraud. Charlotte ain't no man. The fraud got a $200 million deal for podcasts with Netflix. It's funny how some people get to behave badly and tell all kinds of lies and do all kinds of craziness, and they get rewarded for it. They get rewarded for it. Others just get vilified and lose their work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He came out of his mouth and said all of that. Not only that, hold on a second. There's another video. Oh yeah, and let's not forget about this. Aries, I would have flown to Epstein Island if he invited me. Yeah, Charlemagne, in audio that's being passed around online as we speak, admitted to date grape. Matter of fact, it was stated that the first time him and his wife were intimate, she was passed out drunk when he jumped on her. Oh yeah, he did bring that. No, he did bring down Tiffany. They brought Tiffany to heel. Let's not front on that. Let's not front on that. You know, I'm gonna pull up a few things, just a few. Actually, you know what? Let me get in here because this music. I like this music. It's good for thinking. It's good for thinking, but I think I want to switch it up a little bit. Switch it up just. Yeah, this sounds like yeah, this sounds fit for where I'm about to go. We ain't gonna be here too much longer. We ain't been live in a minute, so don't mind me if I take my time with y'all. Is everybody having a good time with me tonight? Are we having a good time? I hope we are. I hope we're having a lovely time. So anyway, let's get to it. Let me handle up right quick. Okay? We're gonna pull a few things up. Now, see, you gotta love when liars get together. Because when liars get together, you know, it's just a great time. It really is. It's a great time. You know, I'll never forget when Vlad actually sat there when I was sitting with Pierce, Boss Baby. I'm a setup King Morgan invited me over there to try to ambush me in a we're going to turn you into a not credible person and discredit you all the way and line you up at the same time and all of that. Right? Yeah, when Vlad said that he would never have me on his platform because I'm not credible, but we're sitting here looking at the email from his producer asking me to if I would be willing to appear on their show. Yeah, you know, you gotta love it. Anywho's anywho's you know, you got Aries sitting over there with Vladimir Lyuski, right? And I don't know. For me, I think it's just the audacity that some people have. Now, just in case we forgot, let's take a look at a little documents here. We're going to take a little look-see-wook-see at this documents here. Okay? Let me get my glasses together. Uh-huh. Plaintiffs also alleged that Mr. Doe was groomed, groped, and Uncle Mo Lester's, and Essie actually assaulted by Mr. Spears and was aided, abetted, and filmed by David Spates. The Momo's video was uploaded and published to the website Funny or Die in 2014 and was not removed from the internet until May 2021. That's an actual segment. That came from the freaking lawsuit. Y'all see what it says? Mr. Doe, because he's a young adult now, Mr. Doe was what? G-roomed, groped, Uncle Mo lested, and Essie actually by Mr. Spears, and was aided and abetted and filmed by David Spates. And that shit stayed up online for 7 years. You want to know what's even wilder than that? When a dude like that hold on a second. Do I have it here? Oh, no, that's something different. Here we go. These are some of the pictures that were in the lawsuit. We're going into Patreon this week. We will start sharing these images this week of the pages. You should really see the pages for yourself. You really should. You should most definitely see these pages for yourself. For those of you that can blow things up yourself, you can read. Spears then sits on the tub's edge. Man. Woo. When the scene changes, Spears is holding a bottle of baby oil. Baby oil. Diddy's number one, you know, preparation mode. Article 53 in this lawsuit. When the scene changes, Spears is holding a bottle of baby oil. Spears then shakes the bottle in a self-manipulation manner, squirting oil on the child's back. Spears then massages the oil onto the child's shoulders as pictured below. Bathtub scene 54. The scene cuts to Haddish watching the child in the bathtub, who is now undressed. She is staring at the child until Spears comes into the bathroom, and Haddish leaves the room once again, meaning that she had brought the child in and prepared the child and left the child there for them. See, she lied to me about that part. Okay? Once again, it is just Spears and the undressed child and the cameraman, whose name on the edge of the tub next to the undressed child and stares at the child playing with toys in the bathtub. Spears once again is peering through the holes cut out of the newspaper. The cameraman then zooms into the child bathing himself as pictured below. I mean, I don't know. I guess that leads me to this. Let me take a second and let me talk to y'all for a little bit. I still don't understand how they tried to pass that off as comedy. Clear violation. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Let's see. Wow. Yep, never forgot that weird-ish. I have an idea who Mr. Doe is, definitely. Yeah. Well, Mr. Doe is now a grown man, but at the time he was a child. Okay. Now, where we are right now at this moment with the image on the screen, see, I was on Instagram and yeah, he's on paperwork. Like his allegations was on paperwork. I know. Y'all with me? Are y'all with me? It's very nasty. It's very nasty. And this was on a website. They had this up on a website for 7 years. Funny thing is when it finally came back and when it finally hit, the only person that seemed to take down and destroy and ruin was Tiffany Haddish. What's up, Mizak? So I need y'all to understand A lot of people like Tiffany until this came out. I need y'all to understand something. Just like Corey's stuff was sitting online for all of these years and they pulled it all together. And now they made a Mr. PDF. This was the whole video with multiple scenes. And there's stuff that didn't make it online that's also in this lawsuit. And we're going to be going over that on Patreon this week. Because I want to remind everybody what a PDF actually is. Don't get me wrong. I do not agree with anything that's on those Corey Holcomb tapes. I do not agree. I'm not down with it. It made me sick just like it made y'all sick. It made everybody sick. That was the whole point. It was put together. It was edited. It was set up that way to make sure you hated this man. Sure did. And yet, we got Aries Spears sitting online trying to take pop shots at Corey Holcomb. Now, take a look-see here. Yes, you saw it, the 7-year-old male. Yes, that boy was 7 years old who he was squirting down with Diddy oil. Baby on the baby oil. Sure was. So anyway, there was a content creator online. I really don't know him that well. But like I said, they made sure all of this stuff was all the way through the algorithm. All the way through the algorithm. And it popped up on the feed. And so he's sitting there and he's showing Corey Holcomb and talking about, because Corey was saying how TMZ, how they got him and all of his gigs is getting canceled and they're ruining him. And he said, F you, man. How dare you blame TMZ? I hate you. And the reason why I hate you is because of this. And then he starts playing that audio, a clip from the audio. The portion, right? The portion where he's talking about the little child and the Welch's grape bottle. I think them starting off with that was so telling. I think it was so telling because what the hell else was that supposed to do but make you hate him when they played it? Then I went to another video and that's when, they were talking about Iceland and now they're trying to really, make it seem like, well, of course, Aries Spears was a Diddyite, but they were trying to make it seem like, they were really emphasizing that he goes out of town to countries where messing with younger people is legal. And it's like I said, it's awful. All of it is awful. It's all terrible. And it was orchestrated and put together that way so you would feel that way. But no different than that Funny or Die video sitting online for what? 7 years? The stuff that they put together in that recording. Some of that stuff goes back 7, damn near 10 years itself. Sure does. Sure does. So I'm asking you guys, if we are going to go after people who are doing this, why ain't we going after everybody? Now, back to this Instagram post. This guy is sitting here going in on Corey Holcomb, talking all kinds of crazy and talking about, yeah, yeah. And he's sitting there, listen to him. And Corey was talking about the young women and how at a certain age a woman can produce a certain kind of child or whatever the case may be. And he's sitting here and and he's talking about how the PUSSY is fresh. And when it's young, and he's a sicko, and anybody that stands by this guy. Now, meanwhile, while he's sitting there talking about the PUSSY, he's got a little kid running around in the backdrop listening to him talk about the PUSSY. So I thought that was kind of weird. You gonna sit here and talk about this guy talking inappropriate about young people, but you're actually sitting here talking about this and saying these, very vulgar phrases in front of a small child, your damn self. And then I look in the comments and he's got this PDFer in the comment saying, laughy face emoji to infinity, if reaping what you sow was a person. And it got 4,299 likes, almost 4,300 likes. Do y'all see what I'm showing you? Do y'all see what I'm showing you? Do you see what I'm showing you? They got a whole PDFer sitting in this post talking about Corey Holcomb talking crazy about underage girls, while an actual PDFer is sitting in the goddamn chat talking shit. That ain't no bot. Understand that? That ain't no bot. That is Aries Spears. They literally sitting here. Oh, Barbara Kelly. Salute. Make that make sense. Please make that make sense. Somebody make that make sense. Somebody. Make that shit make some fucking sense. This guy is sitting there, and I mean, what was his name? Something Chappelle, Matt Chappelle or whatever. I don't know if he's a comedian or not. I don't know. I don't know if he's a comedian or not. Like I said, I don't know the guy. But he's sitting there going off on Corey Holcomb, and he's sitting there talking about the PUSSY with a little kid running around in the background. You sitting here running down on Corey Holcomb for talking inappropriately about underage kids while he's talking inappropriately in front of a small child with an actual PDF in the chat, laughing, talking about if reaping what you sow was a person. Now let's be clear about this. Corey and Aries, they got history. They got history. Like, they got a whole lot of history. Once upon a time, they used to be cool. And this was before that whole Funny or Die craziness came to light. They used to be cool. This was back when Zoe Williams, I believe his name is, was sitting over there with 5150. Yes, I know she was a part of it too. I was addressing that. Now, like I was saying, let's be clear. They used to be cool. Zoe Williams was there, and once upon a time, Zoe Williams and Aries Spears was getting into it. Aries Spears was talking all kinds of crazy. Zoe Williams told him to shut up. Then the next thing you know, Aries started talking out the side of his neck, like the PDF he is, and Zoe just boom jumped up and you know whooped his ass real fast. Camera went off, and all of that stuff went out. This was years ago. Zoe didn't get sued, but Corey did. They couldn't find Zoe, or they could find him, but they couldn't serve him because they didn't have his legal name, but they had Corey. So they, Aries sued Corey and for 20 grand, and Corey had to pay out. So there's bad blood always round. I'm just trying to understand. So Aries has all the reason in the world to be running down on Corey and to be hating on Corey and all of that. All the reason in the world. But I'm just trying to understand how they're creating these little mosh pits of hate while hosting comments from actual PDFers who are on court paperwork, document, record, sued. Oh, and by the way, they settled that suit and they paid those people off. That's why Tiffany Haddish gets to be back on TV again. Because they paid them off. You want to know what's sad though? Every last one of those people that was involved, they all belong on the SCX offender registry list, right over there with Onika husband, for what they did to those kids. And there's more. There's more. What I just shared with y'all, there's more. There's more. And it gets worse. It's bad. So we got Aries Spears walking around like a normal guy, talking shit about someone we know he hates. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, what the hell is really going on? Like, what the hell is going on? When an actual PDF gets to make fun of someone who's being accused of being a PDF. What's going on in this world today? How are people so easily manipulated? I'm going to tell you something right now. Arguing with our moderators here is not a good idea. I think twice about that. Like I just, it's absolute hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. If we're going to go after the bad guys, and let's make sure we go after them all, that's fine. Y'all want to go after Corey Holcomb. Y'all want to tear Corey Holcomb down. Y'all want to make him the worst person in the world after this orchestrated, coordinated attack against tearing him apart. 6 weeks ago, he was fine. He was cool. He was getting anywhere from 250,000 to 500,000 views on all of his videos every Tuesday night. Thousands and thousands of likes, thousands of comments. Everybody was faithful supporters. Everybody was there. All of his members, everything was cool. And then 6 weeks later, he is the worst black man on the internet right now. He must be eradicated. You know, I've heard from mutual contacts that we have in common, um, that they over there getting unalivement threats at 5150. People are threatened to unalive them. 35 freaking days. And people now want them gone off the face of the earth. What you saying over here, Michael? I have witnessed and fought for 12 hours how bad they troll Miss Jaguar Wright. It isn't glory, it's hell online. Jag recites are true and correct always. If not, she admits it. Sure do. Sure do. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I made a mistake a few weeks back. Sure did. And we fixed it. You know, if we're going to hate on Corey Holcomb, then somebody explain to me why Aries Spears hasn't been handled up, why he's allowed to still be online, why he's still running around doing all kinds of wild stuff, saying all kinds of wild stuff, sitting here Schluminati covering up for, you know, the Jigga Man and everybody, and trying to do disinformation on the Epstein files. Like, why is he still speaking? Why is he still making $2 million a year and he isn't even funny? I guess he's getting $2 million a year for helping the Schluminati. Because he's definitely not getting it for being funny. Sitting with another liar like Vladimir Liuski. You know, just in case. Just in case. It's not what oh, yeah. Just in case. It's not what it should be. Oh, baby, take my number. I don't know why I just started singing like random excerpts from the 5 Heartbeats. Shots fired. I'm such a motherfucker. I really am. You know, let's just take a look at Article 58. Spears then sits on the tub's edge again and rolls over into the bath with the undressed child. Spears is lying on his side in the bathtub with the undressed 7-year-old victim. Spears then grabs the undressed the fully undressed child by his arms and forces the child closer to him in the tub, as pictured below. Kitchen scene, Article 59. The scene switches to a kitchen setting with the children, with the child in Haddish's arms. Haddish again leaves the child alone with Spears. Article 60. The child reads a comic book on the floor and begins to imitate the PDFer's actions of Spears. The child releases most of the comic book pages until all that remains, the last page where eye holes were cut out, and the child is now leering at Spears as pictured below. Do y'all understand? I mean, do y'all really understand? I mean, really. Do y'all really get it? Because I don't know if everyone gets it. If Aries Spears was not arrested and taken to jail, that part, Alina. For doing what he did to that child. If David Spates, who filmed and edited it, hasn't gone to jail for what was done to that child, how wasn't that case criminalized? With what I just read you, like, how? Like, this is the kind of this is the kind of crap that just gets glossed over. So I'm just trying to figure it out. Aries Spears gets to do all of that stuff. Aries Spears and David Spates get to do all of that stuff. Aries Spears gets to make $2 million a year after doing that to a kid. Tiffany Haddish gets to go back on TV and pretend like none of that ever happened. By the way, she was being represented by that lawyer that was representing Tory Lanez, that allegedly is representing Christina Payne, who's going after Corey Holcomb. Oops. Really, when? Because even in the midst of that whole Funny or Die thing, Aries Spears wasn't catching no hell and he was still working. Corey Holcomb, they got him on the ropes. They sitting there. All of his gigs is getting canceled. He's being turned down for work everywhere. They're trying to run him off of his own platform. They're trying to make sure that this man is completely destitute and unemployable in record time. And yet, Aries Spears is sitting over there with Vladimir Lyuski and bragging like in what I just showed y'all. In those freaking comments, he was sitting there bragging. Like, people started bagging on him, talking about, yo, dude, we seen your video. You don't need to be up in here running your mouth. You talking a little bit too much. You got a little bit too much to say. Like you doing too much. You need to back up out of here. It's kind of crazy because almost 4,300 people was sitting there co-signing his bullshit when he's the actual PDFer while they're running down on Corey Holcomb, right? 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 And he's sitting there bragging, talking about he makes so much money, he gets so much money. Who cares what anybody thinks about him because he's rich and because he's doing this? But like that's his response. That was his response to people telling him, yo, you a sickie, you a sicko. We know what you did to that kid. Whoopty whoopty woo, yada yada yada. And he's sitting there talking about how much money he get and how paid he is. So I'm just trying to understand how Corey Holcomb should be ran off the face of the earth for the terrible things that he said after it has been a coordinated effort to destroy him, to ruin his character, and to chase him offline over the course of the past 35 days. But that funny or die thing, it's been rumbling just below the surface since 2021, since it was forced to get taken down. The only person that got publicly vilified for it was Tiffany Haddish, while David's still doing all kinds of stuff, like doing whatever they want to do, getting looked after by the Schluminati. Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. I sing from time to time still. No, but seriously, I'm trying to figure it out. So they get to make PDF videos with kids and destroy people's lives to the point where they got to shut it down, quiet it up, and keep it on wrap, right? Keep it on wraps. Keep it on the quiet side of things, right? While they still getting money, but Corey Holcomb got to be broke, and everybody's got to hate him. Like, Aries Spears is so freaking comfortable being the fucking piece of shit that he is, that he's literally sitting in the comments of someone vilifying someone for being a PDFer, and he's actually a fucking PDFer, and 4,300 people liked his shit. Does that make any sense? See, it's a selective outrage. It's that selective outrage that I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's selective outrage. So what's fucking good? Like, what's really good? When we so selective with it. It's crazy work. Why is he online and not in jail? I don't know. I would like to know, which is why I got smoked for Tiffany Haddish, because she was supposed to be sitting with me last year 2024 on the blue couch, and we were supposed to be going through all of this together. Because I told her I was going after Aries. I told her I was going after David Spades. I told her what they did to her, and for her to be the only person, the black woman, to be the only person to have to sit there and go through the heat of all this thing while these motherfuckers are sitting here making bank, making millions of dollars a year. Fucking David Spades working with religious production companies and shit. And she the only one catching hell. It was funny because she came to me asking me about the investigation that I was doing and what information found out on Aries and David, and I was sharing some of the shit with her. You want to know how crazy that is? Because apparently she went back and she shared with them what I had on them. Talk about either Stockholm syndrome or just the fucking biggest fucking pick me in all of Black Hollywood history. Like, I'm serious. got smoke for her. Because if anybody should want them ragged and tagged for the PDF as they are, if anybody should want that thing criminalized so they get the hell that they fucking deserve after the way they strung her up, it should be her. And for her to go along with this plan, in my opinion, is her straight covering for PDFers. She's a predator protector. And apparently, the TV show was all it was going to take for her to protect these predators. Aries Spears didn't catch not an ounce of fucking hell. And apparently this pussy's so safe. He's so safe that he can sit there while they running down on Corey for being exactly, accusing Corey of being exactly what he is. 4,300 people. I'm just trying to understand. Yeah. After her relationship with Danny Boy. Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. David Spates sat there and filmed that crap. He edited it. And then he prepared it to be released. And that shit sat online for 7 years. If we got all of this smoke for Corey Holcomb, then we need to have all of that smoke. We need to have all of the smoke. All of the smoke for Aries Spears and David Spates. All of it. Like, I'm sick and tired. I am sick and tired of the selective outrage. It's disgusting. If we gonna go after the PDFers and if we gonna clean up these streets, then let's make sure we get everybody. But I'm gonna tell y'all this right now, and I want everybody to be clear. Don't come around dropping nothing. Don't come dropping nothing. I don't want to hear no comments. I don't want to hear no nothing. I don't want to hear. Don't drop shit on my channel. We gonna run down on these niggas too. Like, apparently Black History Month is the new lynching month to go after black people. So y'all want to go after? Let's do it. Let's get everybody. Let's get everybody. Let's get them all. There'll be justice when we refuse to let them keep pulling the shit that they pull. We need to stop the selective outrage. We do. It probably was a humiliation ritual. It probably was. It's funny because only the black woman got treated like shit. I understand, and please, let's be careful with the all caps. We don't do all caps over here, just moderators. But yeah, Yeah, they want to drain him to make sure that he can't fight it out in court. They do that. They do that too. So I just want everybody to know, don't come to me asking me shit about Corey Holcomb unless you ready to handle up on Aries Spears, David Spates, and at this point, shit, Tiffany Haddish too. Fuck it. Paying those people off and making them sign a non-disclosure agreement is not justice. It's not justice. What if they decide they want to make another video? Hmm? Don't come around here asking me shit about Corey Holcomb if y'all not ready to get rid of everybody. For real. And for those of y'all who are actual members here, for those of y'all who are actually you know, real family around here, y'all already know I've been teeing it up to get ready to go after this whole Aries Spears, David Spates, Funny or Die PDF. Y'all already know I was already there. So to see this come, it was wild to me. It was really wild to me. It's so funny. I hear people all the time. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you. I hear people say all the time when it comes time to talk about the Jigga Man, when it comes time to talk about the Diddler, when it comes time to talk about, even before R. Kelly went away, when they would talk about R. Kelly and they would sit up there and say, "Oh, y'all just want to tear down successful black men. Y'all always want to tear a black man down. Always want to destroy a black man, whoopty whoopty woo, and yada yada yada, and so on and so forth." Well, what color is Corey? What color is Corey? There was a whole victim who was 13 years old when she was messed over at an MTV Awards, as she alleged. She was stalked, she was harassed, she was hunted down and pressured and bullied until she couldn't take it anymore. And she dropped her lawsuit, and it was registered with prejudice so that she could never bring up her claims again. And yet, when Mr. Carter, not even the judge could go along with it, which only means one thing, that there was evidence that she was telling the truth. But where was the sympathy for her? When Alex Spiro got on television and they played that doctored up audio to try to make it sound like she recanted her claims against the Jigga Man, when that never happened. She sat online and she said, "I'm sorry, babe. 9 times out of 10, there's probably people sitting in here trying to report it to try to slow it down and shut it down in some way. I apologize, Kat." No, but seriously, did nobody care about her? And all anybody could say is why y'all going after these black men? Why y'all want to tear these black men down? Y'all always want to tear a black man down. I guess Corey is Chinese. See, it's the selective outrage for me. It's the selective outrage for me. So we talked about what we needed to talk about tonight. If we not going to round them all up, don't come to me demanding that I speak on shit. Don't come into my comment section trying to hold me liable or calling me names or Yeah, he been doing what he been doing. Everybody's doing what they doing. You wanna know what's funny? People have been calling me a liar for so long. People have been saying that I've been making things up. People have been trying to find ways to discredit me, and yet those files came out. And I don't hear a whole bunch of people thanking me. They got Onika out here literally repeating damn near everything that I've ever said already, that I've been said already. And they're sitting there trying to make it sound like she's saying something fucking new. It's insulting, honestly. It's insulting to my intelligence, and it's done to try to kill my self esteem so that I won't believe in me. I'm done with the selective outrage. When y'all ready to get everybody, I'm down. Until then, fuck who you pick and choose. Because what it seems like is the people that are picked to be drugged through the mud and torn apart are the people that ain't down with the Shluminati and the weirdos. And the people that do get picked apart are the people that are fighting against the Shluminati and the weirdos. Like that's what it is. Because there's no way in the world you take Corey Holcomb and put him in one hand, you take Aries Spears, put him in another. They're both black comedians that tell irreverent, inappropriate fucking jokes. But the PDF gets celebrated praise and gets a pay raise. And the other who they've been trying to pin all kinds of shit on him that won't fucking stick. They put together the most negative sound bites of his career, and all of a sudden he's supposed to be the most hated, and we let these weirdos just walk around. I don't get it. I don't understand. What is wrong with people? Are you kidding me? Everybody's repeating everything that I already said, trying to act like I never said it before. I don't know. Maybe they think because I said this shit 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Maybe because humanity has gotten so fucking stupid, dumb, and fucking lame. They think that they don't remember that I already said it, so they just going to get a bunch of patsies to come and repeat everything that I said and pretend like I never fucking said it. It's insulting, and yet I still stand here. All of them a bunch of fucking pick-me's. All of them a bunch of fucking Shluminati pick-me's. I'm telling y'all now, don't come through here. Don't come around Jaguar country. Don't do it. Don't come around Jaguar country talking about what you got to say, what you got, what you doing, and whoop-de-woo. And don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. You will get your feelings hurt. Save the children. We need to save ourselves so we can save the children. I don't understand why people like playing these games. Honey, we got better fish to fry. While all of this stuff is going on, there's other stuff going on. I was sitting in a lecture just a few days ago, and I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to leave it alone. Project Stargate. Y'all need to do your research. That's not something I can talk about I can talk about here on YouTube. We'll have to create another way to possibly have that conversation in the future. But I'm going to say it one last time. Project Stargate. Y'all need to pay attention. There's other things going on. When they're this busy creating this much ruckus, it's because they're really trying to hide something far worse. Far worse. They've been sitting out here for years trying to get me to flip on real victims so that they can go and find a way to bully them and shut them down or get rid of them like they did that autistic victim in Alabama. They've been doing everything that they possibly can do to try to discredit me and shut me down. Stargate. Y'all just need to pay attention. Y'all need to pay attention because shit is a whole lot more fucked up than you think. We might possibly be able to do it over on Patreon, but we need to have that conversation as well. Like, it's time for me to start figuring out how I share with you guys and what I share with you guys. It's not, and they do feed off of emotional energy, so let's be very careful what we give them. I'm going to get ready to sign off, guys. I wasn't expecting to be here this long, but I wanted to make my point. I like to sit down and I like to make sure that everybody understands and gets it. Oh, it's most definitely bigger than Onika. It's bigger than all of us. It's bigger than all of us. But just know this. I will not allow my mind to be dictated to by a machine that does nothing but high, lie, and cheat people out of not only their justice but their common sense. So on that note, guys, I just want to say I appreciate you for coming out. To my moderators, everyone that could be here, love you very much. Make sure you check out our moderators and their channels. They all have very interesting broadcasts that they do, and they share their own versions of what's important. And to the weirdos online who still keep trying to get my attention and get me to respond to all of your craziness with all of the wild shit that you say, especially moly faced witches who need a life.
So they didn't stay in the seat left. Come on, Rob. Go, Rob.
If at first you don't succeed, go kick rocks. Go kick rocks. You understand? Because whatever y'all are trying to plan for me, whatever y'all are trying to do to try to just take me up out of here or think that you going to move me around, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Y'all, whatever y'all want to say, but please just remember this. And I'm going to keep on. That's not going to change. Yeah, they in the bushes. No shoes on with dirty feet, honey. Listen to me. I am speaking. I'm gonna keep on. Sure am. So, all that being said, I want to thank you guys for popping through. It's been an interesting night. I think we've had you know, I think we've had a decent time. And hmm, I think we're gonna just groove on up out of here. So, God bless you all. Much love to you. Until we meet again. Until we meet again. Peace.